Okay. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Let me hope everyone is doing fantastic. 10 minutes past 7, we have started our class. 10 minutes past 7, we have started our class. Okay, excuse me. Let me hope you can hear me very well. Is my audio loud and clear? Am I loud and clear? Am I loud and clear? Can you hear me well? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me very well? Uh, can you hear me very well? Can you hear me very well? Give me a thumbs up if you're following. Give me a thumbs up if you're following. Give me a thumbs up if you are following. That is really fantastic. That is fantastic. That is okay. Okay. I want to welcome each and everyone who has joined this class. Today we are going to go into we are going to be trade settings. We are going to be looking at encryption settings, how to design encryption settings for Royal Q future. Not only that, we are also going to look at how can you how can you uh, um, how can you make money with the Royal Q features. We are going to look at how are you going to operate your Binance so that it can be uh, uh, very compatible with your Royal Q. Okay, we are getting started. If you have someone who has not yet joined in, please tell them that the time is now. What the time is now. If you have a downline who's not yet in class, I request each and everyone that please let's take this let's be ready to learn. Since it's a new thing, we have not been doing it for long. Uh, just take yourself as a student, just like all of us we are. You get what I'm saying? Just like all of us, we are a student of the listening training style. So let's dive in together. But what I've confirmed, it can make money for us. It's really going to make money. It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. It's amazing. It's going to give us very huge profit. It's going to be a game changer on our teams. It's going to be. It's going to add the vibe which we had lost for a long time on the team. It's a very beautiful system. Let's get started right away. Okay. Now, yesterday we were just looking at some of. Yesterday our focus was on. We are looking at what are the fundamentals of features. What does this? What does leverage mean? What does relation?
Breaking.
My words are breaking.
Yes.
Maybe let me get my microphone here. Mm, eh, we are going to sort that out. Don't worry. We are going to sort it out. Even right now, the words are breaking.
Now they are very strong.
Fantastic. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at uh, how how do you design settings for your Royal Cube futures? How do you connect your robot with the Binance to enable the futures trading? I think we looked at that yesterday. Mhm. And we looked at how are we going to design settings according to our capital. My advice is, as a beginner, start with very small amount of money. Okay. with some small amount of money. You dive in and learn how the system works. Then later on, you can of course add any money you want as the trading capital. Yeah. Okay. I've picked up my microphone. I think now that is going to be okay. The preparation was not on phone. But okay, regardless, we move. Now, let's start with API binding. Okay? Let's start with API binding. Mm, mm. Okay. So I think now you can you all hear my voice? Am I clear now? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me very clearly. Ah, fantastic. Hey, now the voice is clear. Let's go. So we are going to start with the API, binding. Hmm? When you go to your royal queue, remember we've been trading spot only. So if you didn't have a futures account, Binance, a futures account has to be activated first. Are we clear? It's not there by default. You activate it first. If your account has not been active, come here, tap replace, go to your Binance wallet, tap home, tap more, scroll down to your API, and scroll down. If you've been having an active futures account on Reddit, you just tap here, you tap edit, and you just enable future. But if you've been having no active account, this will not be available. If you create an account right now, after you had binded your Binance on Reddit, this will be available, but it will be frozen. You can't be able to pick it. So what you do, you just need to tap delete all API, you delete them, create a new API. Now, as you are creating a new API, make sure you enable futures too. Previously, we've been just enabling spot and margin trading. This time around, enable futures. Are we together? Are we together? The first thing is create a future account. Come to your Binance. Here down, before you do even the API, here down, there is a word futures. Tap it. In the corner here, or when you don't have a futures account, you can tap, for example, open loan. When you tap it, they are going to navigate you through the procedure of creating a futures account. Now, since for me I have it already, there is no way I can go back. Are we together? After that, up here in the corner, there are three dots. Are you seeing these three dots? Where in the corner where I'm circling, tap them. Then tap preferences. Then tap position mode and change it to hedge mode. What does one-way mode and hedge mode means? One-way mode means if you enter a trade, it's like you are in sport. You only enter that trade. If it is short, it is short. If it's long, it's long. But with the hedge mode, you can be able to trade the same coin, both trend. Are we together? Eh? Are we together? Uh, Agama Fifi is like, yeah, we are very, very together. And they like that. Okay. Now, after that, go and do the API binding for your one, for your queue. Okay. Now, these are the things we are going to be looking at in this Royal Queue futures. For example, today sorry, today we are going to be looking at we're going to be looking at the settings, the trade settings. We're going to be looking at the leverage. We're going to be looking at how to trade. We are going to start having signals for futures. Then we are going to be looking at gauging. Then we are going to be looking at okay, that's today's topic. Okay. Now let's start from trade settings. Let's start from trade settings. When we are designing settings, this is what as we learned yesterday. In yesterday's class, I told you in the future, only use 20% of your trading capital. Why? In futures, we have what we call liquidation. It is what we call liquidation. Liquidation means you can lose your capital. If I'm trading with $1,000 and the trade goes against me, I can lose it. In sport, we've been not losing money unless maybe a coin is listed, and even if it is, you still get out some of the money. In futures, case is different. Okay, so all of this need to come in futures. I want to give you an disclaimer here. The loss is real if the market goes against you. However, we are going to dive into that so that you understand it. However, you have to be scared. When I was grouping, there is a story they told us. I don't know how true it is. They said those wild cats, they give birth to very many kittens. Habitable kitten, cats, the young cat. They can be like 8 or 10 or maybe 12 or maybe 7. Now, if cats breastfeed, she breastfeed this little one for some time. Then one day, that comes and out of the blue, it gets a very scary voice. Those kittens get scared and run away. In the future, they become wild. The ones which stay, they become the big ones. Now, today, I'm that cat. I want to scare you. Those who will stay, they're going to be the real traders of future. In the futures, there is losing money. You find your account zero. Are we together? Give me a thumbs up if you have understood that. Agama Fifi is the first person. Why no, yo? So there is liquidation. You can lose it. So this is it. When we are trading, only use 20%. If you want to come here in this kind of trading, don't take a quality. Don't bring all your money, all your $1,000, all your $500. You have $100 capital. Don't bring the whole of it. Only bring 20%. Okay. So what you do, you come here on your Binance, tap assets, for example, tap assets, then come here up on spot, tap transfer from spot to in futures, we have two wallets. Here they were. We have USDM futures and there is coin M future. It's here. Coin M futures. We don't use this one. We use this one for USD. Are we together? So you tap it, then you choose a coin, then you send the amount of money you want to use. I've been using $200. Now I use 400. Okay. When I want to increase, you are putting the money at least 20% of your capital. You have $1,000, take the 200. You have $10,000, please don't take the whole of it. Only transfer 2,000 on your futures wallet. You have only $10, please transfer the whole of it. Your capital is $10. Please transfer the whole of it. Don't divide it on But are we together? Then when you confirm the transfer, this money will come on your futures wallet. Are we together? Now, let's go. So we said that only transfer 20% of your trading capital to your futures wallet. So it means you're only going to use a portion of your money for this kind of trading. Okay? Second, we're going to look at the trade setting. When we are designing when we are designing trade settings for futures, you can use the same settings you've been using in spot. Now, we have two types of trade setting. We have two types of trade setting. We have trade settings for leverage and non-leverage. Okay, we are going to look at what is leverage. Leverage means you are multiplying your capital because on futures, Binance gives you a chance to multiply your capital. I have $100. I can trade with 1,000 futures. In spot, it was not possible, but in futures, it is. In a dollar chukumi choka, but I can enter trade with 1,000. So Binance. But that extra $900 is not really drawable. Someone will be like, yeah, okay, let me get the $100 on futures. I multiply and withdraw like a boss, like a gangster. Does it work like that? That money is only used in trading. Okay. Now, when you are having no leverage, you can use the same settings we are using in spot. Are we together? For example, you've been having $1,000. If I buy an amount, that's all $400. Your margin calls were 20. So margin calls are using 800, the remaining bar. You've been having the drops and all of that. You get the point? Yeah, you can use the same setting you were using in the spot with the tiny leverage. But when you come in leverage, the story changes. Right. Now, there is a strategy. It's called 10x 1%. It's a very beautiful strategy. Tried it and it really works very well. The capital you are using, you are multiplying it by 10 times. But when you are taking a profit, you are only taking 1%. I think when I write these things on the same page, it will really be very confusing. Did we understand the non-leverage trade settings? Have we understood it? Okay, let me come to my royalty, for example. This is my royalty robot. I've been having my settings. And for example, these are my settings. Are you seeing these settings? With the word one short. Okay? First buying amount was 50, 10 margin calls. So this is settings for $500. Are we together? These settings for $500. There have been settings for sport. They can work very well in your future. If you have no leverage, we are going to understand what leverage is in my next explanation. If I have no leverage, I can use my same settings for sport and I make money in the future. So I think there is not a lot of work there to explain. So the only difference with futures and you are having no leverage in your trade is that you are having an opportunity to trade both the markets. Remember, in sport, you were only waiting. Please mute yourself when you join the class. Hey, mute yourself, you people. Remember, in sport, we were having we were only trading that the coin is going up. Our champion, the top leader, the signal queen, she was always giving us signals, telling us that please trade high five, take 3%. Trade with take 3%. Take this 3%. Enter this coin, take 3%. That coin it will in that video. When a coin goes up, we make a profit. If the market changes, we go in a floating loss. Or we make small profits from subbean modes. You know, subbean modes are two. It is real time to play subbean mode. So you are making profit either in subbean mode or in subbean real time, or you are just buying at a better price in wholesale positions, but you are not selling. You Kayinda. How many of us and you are here and you are having a coin in floating loss? You are not in loss, but your coin starts somewhere, it went down. Give me a thumbs up if you have it. In my main account, I have like 6 coins. And that is very long. The beauty about sport is that I'm not losing my cash. Yeah. And if I go in a coma right now, I come back later or in 2032, I will find my money on the wallet. That's not the case in the future. In the future, the boy, don't just hang out. You are from your coma. You come back in 2032, you'll go back in coma. Be together. Now, when you're trading with the non-leverage, the chance you have is that now you can trade both trends. A market go down or you make profits, the market is going down. Most of the coins, they go down. I've been tweeting seeing them. What are the coins you are having floating loss? You can track them when they are going down. Okay. For the past days, has been just going. Okay, this was a crash. Let me choose another coin with USDT. Okay, this coin, in May, it was just going May, June. Now it has started going down. Kategorize a coin inga it turns to choose up trend. You can even make a profit when it's going down. There is someone I met. For him, it was like, when I trade one coin at a time. So kusigala coin nga iri akola mu sente ja tracking yokka. You can look at one coin and analyze just one and you make a profit. You look at OM going down for a full week. On this day it went down 7%. Following the 7%, the other day 3%, the other day 2%, 7%. You see, yesterday it went 5% down. Today it had gone up 3%. But some people can follow even one coin and you make profits. You trade it when it's going up in spot. You trade it when it's going down in future. Are we together? So this is an opportunity to trade both the market, to trade both the markets. But you are having no leverage. When you have no leverage, listen to my statement carefully. When you have a margin, it will be almost impossible to be liquidated. Are we together? When you have no leverage, you are trading with your real cash. It will be almost impossible as long as you have margin calls for the market to liquidate you. Because the moment the robot buys the first buying amount, let me draw some case scenario here. Let me give an example. I have $500 in capital. $100 is my first buy. Then I use the 400 for margin calls. So I get 10 margin calls, and each margin call is using $50. So I have 10 margin calls. So when I enter with the first buying amount in future, the power a coin to liquidate me. Let's assume I've short the market. I've entered the coin with going down, but instead the coin goes against me. Coin when it starts going up, it is doing a floating loss, just like in sport. But to be liquidated, this coin has to go up 100%. How many coins do you which go 100% in one day or 2 or 3 days? It's not a very common case, right? Now, the moment the robot buys a margin code, another 100% outside. But buys another margin. So it is almost impossible to be liquidated without leverage. So those with good cash, you can try this strategy. You can trade with no margin calls. Don't bother with the settings. Use the same settings you've been using while you're trading. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you understood what I'm saying. Give me a thumbs up. Give me the flower. Give me the flowers and the thumbs ups if you have understood what I've talked about. So with no leverage, you can't be liquidated. Good. Now there is leverage. One was away. Okay. Leverage gives a chance to people with small profits to make small capital to make a good profit. Let me take you back. When we have been trading in spot trading, one of the reasons why our profits have been small is because of little capital. Are we together? You are having only $200. But this $200, you are dividing it by 10 margin calls. That means every buy, the robot is using $20. Sometimes you enter a trade and it only buys 3 times. That means it has invested only $60. But Namayagazam gave us a signal, taking 3% profit. What is 3% of $60? 60 times 3%. You make $1.8. What does it take to deliver the 3%? You find out that sometimes a signal takes a day. Nainga opposite dollar. Point. And how learning? You guys who have come in this class, I want you to open your mind to understanding the instrument. I want you to just understand what I'm saying. Okay? Don't excite, don't be biased. And thank you so much. So, if with the little, when you have small capital, you have no chance to make good profit. But in the future, with my $200 capital, finance gives me a chance to multiply this money. For example, I took 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20, 30, 40, 50. There are coins even which accept up 75 times. You can multiply your capital by as many as 75 times. Now, after trading, I told you that a leverage is a trap. Why? Because a leverage takes you immediately to liquidation. Actually, it takes you faster there. When you have liquidation, you have hired a Lamborghini to drive you to net. But remember, no risk, no Mercedes. When I talk about the Mercedes, you don't risk it like you buy a bicycle. You get what I'm saying? Now, I want to teach you this strategy. I've been using it and it's working very well. It's called 10x 1%. How does it work? That's a small capital you have, multiply it by 10. Are we together? Divide it by margin calls and take a very small profit. That is the psychology. Okay? The mistake people do in futures, they have small capital, they want to leverage so high and take big capital. Then they have no margin of errors. You get the point? The liquidation is very easy. But with this strategy, your liquidation won't be as easy, but it will give you profit. Let me explain. For example, let's assume I have $200. I multiply it by 10. How does it become? How much do I get? Huh? Are we following? Let me see those who are following. How much do I get? $900. I multiply it by 10. That means, if not let me go, 2,000. Thank you so much. $2,000. But in reality, I'm having only 200 on my wallet. But I've got a chance to trade with the 2,000. Now the trick is here. This got 2,000. Don't use the whole of it. Divide it by margin calls. Okay? Divide it by margin calls. And also take 1% profit. Don't go beyond that. Actually, if Reiki was accepting, we would have been taking 0.5% profit. But Reiki was accepted below 5%. Let me show you. Now, we have got $2,000 because we have leveraged by 10. Okay? Your first buying amount should be 20% of your trading capital. We said that in the beginning, when you want to trade futures, only transfer 20% of your money on your Binance wallet to futures wallet. We had $1,000, we transferred $200 only on futures wallet. Now, $200, divide it by 20%. Okay, take out 20% and make it your first buying amount. How much is 20% of front? That is $40. So you are entering market with the $4. This money may be by 10 times, so technically it comes before $1 becomes bigger. But my initial capital, I'm investing only 40. Now, how much in it? Out of 200, we did 4, that means $150. And it again. So my class is not very difficult, you people. Are we together? Are we following? Are we following? Are we following? Someone is saying this is $160. But since it is leveraged, now it is 1,600. Let me hope our live stream is live. Okay, it is live. Was scared that maybe it is leveraged. Now I thought maybe it's off, but it's live. Thank you. Are we together? Now, the rest of this money is going to be in margin calls. Let's assume I divide this by 16 margin calls. 16 margin calls. So this is the first buying amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 16 margin calls. And each margin call is using only $10. Is using only $10. But since this money is leveraged, it becomes 100. When we imagine call robot, they take $100. Now, with this kind of formula, whenever the robot buys a margin call, the leverage price is extended. Okay? Some trader, their whole covering percentage is just 5%. But as the game changes, my advice is let's cover 15%. Let's cover 15%. Let's cover 15%. Why? Let's cover 15%. Why? When your leverage is 10 times, that means if the market goes against you 10%, you are liquidated. You are liquidated. So have we understood what I'm saying? Give me a thumbs up if you're following. Give me a thumbs. By the way, I can repeat these calculations. I know it's too much, but I can repeat it. Let me repeat it once more again. What is it? Let me repeat it. So, leverage. That's two. Believe you can understand how it works. With leverage, you have a chance to multiply your capital, your small capital, and make good profits, just like someone who has good money. Because if I have $200 and I leverage by 10, that means I'm going to make the same money like someone who has no leverage but is trading with $2,000. Are we together? Someone has $1,000. They can multiply it by 10 and they make the same profits, just like someone who has been using $10,000. But there is a price to pay. This is the price. The market goes against you, you can be liquidated. Okay? Let's assume I have $200 as my trading capital. When I multiply it by 10, it becomes 2,000. Now, my first buying amount should be 20% of your trading capital. That is $40. Since there is leverage of 10, that means it becomes 400. If we have the back on a dollar, my money, the rest is Binance's money. That means $360 is for Binance. Mine is only 40. And by the way, when they are liquidating, they liquidate your 40, not the 300. That's the funny part. Now, have margin calls of the remaining balance, which is $160 plus leverage, 1,600. Let's assume we can have like 16 margin calls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up to 16 margin calls. And I can say 1,600 when I divide by 16. What is the answer? The answer is how much? The answer is 100. So that means now each margin call is going to be using $100. Technically, out of this 100, kudolezo echikumi goina kukumi. Out of that $100, for you have only 10. But when you have margin calls, whenever a robot buys a margin call, your liquidation price is extended. Your liquidation price is extended further. And also, this gives you a chance to buy this same coin at a better price. With this kind of trading, you can make good money even when you have small capital. But people with good capital, you can decide not to leverage. And decide not to leverage, or you can leverage and make your robot crazy. People, we have taken time seeing very good profits on the bot, not so. But when we understand this strategy, you are going to start seeing again real profits on you. Today, my bot has made $65. It's made 46, the other day it made 11, the other day it made 23, the other day it made 29. But with $200 trading capital. Today I decided that let me get another 200. Now I want to start to trading 2 coins at a time. You get my point. But with just 200, when did we last see this? Long time ago. I believe if we understand this system, we are going to make the profits. Now, come on your YouTube, come on mine, you tap my strategy settings, you tap the plus. Now I have these settings. The margin call should be 16. Okay. Now, my first buying amount, I wrote there 50. Is not calculated in dollars, it's calculated in value. I'll show you how it works. Now, of course, here put 16 margin calls. All position take profit ratio is 1%. Don't go beyond 1%. All position take profit callback 0.01. Buy and callback 0.01. Third position callback 0.01. One strategy, one shot. Come to margin configuration. Come to margin configuration. Now, how do this margin configuration work? For example, it's this. Zero point 0.8, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2 of $50. That's how much? That's 10, not so. 0.2, 2, one credit and let's take on 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. Now, for me, my first buy amount is should be $40 here, not 50. $40. Okay. Margin configuration. Now the drop here is 0.3. It is very, very fast. Okay. 0.3, 0.3 up to the 13th margin call. 0.33 times 13, 4%, 4.2%. The market, when the market goes down 4.2%, it has already bought the 13 margin calls. Now the remaining the remaining 3 margin calls. This one is 7, this one is 7, this one is 5. This one's okay. 7 plus 7, that's 14, plus 5, that is 21, plus the 4.9, that's like 25 cents. Okay. So for me, I'm covering 25%, but you can cover 15%. Others are covering 5%. 5% is too near. Okay. So for me, I wanted these last 3 margin calls to buy the later price. Don't put bigger gaps. Now, with this strategy, these small margin calls may not work for you. How? For example, there are people who are trading with the 4 margin calls and each drop is 10%. By the time the robot buys the margin call, you will be liquidated. So have many margin calls. You get the point? The 0.2 of 40 is 8, not 10. Let's see here. Okay, should be 0.25. 0.25. If you're following, give me a thumbs up. If you're following, now, so these are settings for $200. Okay, these are my settings for $1,100 with no leverage. These are for leverage of 10 times. These with no leverage. I used these settings for no leverage, but they had only 4 margin calls. I was not scared of the percentage because I can't be liquidated. You get the point? I've understood. So I've designed settings for 200. For $200. Before we get out of the part of designing settings, anyone uh, anyone who wants to see a different kind of settings, a design for a different kind of trade settings, you can drop it in the chat box and we see. Someone is saying $50. Yeah, someone is asking, does leverage work on margin calls or it's for only first buy amount? Leverage works on even margin calls. That's why I told you that in your settings, your robot is for you are putting 10, but your robot will be putting $100. I'll show you how. Someone is saying I designed settings for $50. Okay, let's do here. For $50, come to my strategy settings. Remember, now $50, they're going to be leveraged, right? Times 10. Come here. We said that your first buying amount should be 20% of your capital. $50 times 20%. How much is the 20% of $50 is how much? $10. Huh? So you write here 10. So we are remaining with how much? $40. So your margin calls should be 4 because you're remaining with only $40. Are we together? Since you're going to be leveraged, you can even multiply. You see that you're remaining with $40 instead of buying with the 50 because here they're going to multiply 10 times 10. That's 100. So that means you can decide that for me, my margin calls, they are going to be using $50. Now, that means each margin call for you, your initial capital is going to be only $5. By 10, and it becomes 350. So what are you going to do? You're going to multiply it. You have 8 margin calls. 8 times 5, that's how much? And if it will calculate it, 5 times 8. It's 40. So that means your remaining $40 is going to be added in the margin cost. So you can be the take profit, we said 1%. This drops 0.01. This column, sorry, 0.01. One short. Now you come here. The drops. Okay? You're having 8 margin calls. The first margin calls, them buy very fast. 0.3. 0.3. 0.3. 0.3. 0.3. Now, the rest of the 3 margin calls, this ones you can even give them 5%. Because these are just insurance. Because it goes totally against it. Now, what do you do here? Multiple buying ratio. You are buying half of the first buy amount. Put 0.5. 0.5. Anyone wants to use $50 as your trading capital on futures, you can follow this guide and you design it like this. Now, what I want to do is just have a formula. Then another thing, I want you to know that your money is multiplied. When you want to leverage, designing a settings in here, okay? Don't design settings like a poor man who has only $50. Now I want you to know that with our strategy of 10x, you are going to be using $500 in a trade, not 50. So that means you are designing settings for 500. We together. Give me a thumbs up if you're following. Give me a thumbs up. What is our settings? $50. Okay. So here we are going to write 50 futures. By the way, I advise you to always mark your settings. Give them a remark. In that next time you are having very many settings, you know what to use and when. I always have different strategies. I trade with a strategy depending on the trade. Building settings for $50. Can we try settings for another amount? Please give me an amount you are going to trade with, and we see how we can design settings for that same income before we go to our next part. Anyone? So Pink is saying I want to play futures now. I think you know Django man. It's not try that funds, right? the chat box. Ogal Moses is saying $100. I think with $100, you can just multiply this. Make your first buying amount 20, or you can leave it 10. Then, or you make it 20, margin call is 16. And that work, bro? Costa, now wait a minute. $10. Okay, $10. That means $10 by designing. Can we try settings for $10? Ogal Moses, settings for $100, just multiply this by 2. The settings for 8, for $50. First buying amount, make it 20. Margin call it 16. The rest are the same. Okay? So Costa is saying for $10. Now, someone with $10, what we have seen is that since we are going to use a leverage, we're going to use $3. So we come that plus our $100. Okay, we are going to be using $100. Here, write 1. Or you can even write a monthly. Sorry, we're using 10. Okay, here write 10. First buying amount. Margin costs 9. Take profit ratio 1%. Callbacks 0.01. All the callbacks just read 0.01. Side, then you come here in the value configuration 0.3. 0.3. The draw. Yeah? 0.3. 0.3. 0.3. 0.3. How many margin calls? Here, write 5. 5. Here, just write 1, 1. So, every I know some people are laughing. They're like, put your $10 and come and trade the futures. We cannot never say. We should rename this. This is settings for 10 USA futures. Now, wait a minute. Have you seen the settings? Let's talk from there. Now, just to get to the formula. When you are the amount of money you have, multiply it if you are going to use leverage. Because we say the leverage is for people with smaller money. If you have little money, don't come with the same mindset of sport in the futures. Futures is different. Here you have come to make money. So multiply your money if you have sport. Your trading capital is different. You get 1,000. So design says when you are trading, Binance is going to give you the extra cash, the $900. You wait to trade. Give us a screenshot in the group. How can you be in a group? No one is posting any screenshot of profits. We're just seeing crying emojis. But crying. Floating those. Dynasty, you people. What are we? What are we going to do? But now, Trump is doing this. Let's leave Trump alone. Start trading futures. Now, let's proceed. Okay? Let's proceed. So now, what is our next topic? We said that we are going to tackle trade settings. We are done. And we have also looked at, we're going to look at the leverage. Does the leverage help us? The leverage does 2 things. First, it amplifies trading capital. As a team, let's agree to stop at 10x. Yesterday, I was with the Anchor AOQ. We will show you his results. He was testing the system. And for him, he was leveraging the money by 5. But for me, I advise you use 10x. Okay? When you use 10x, you take a profit. Is the 1%. First of all, your capital is amplified, even in a take a profit percentage. Yeah? They take a profit percentage. also is amplified. This is what happens. If you have leverage, if you have leverage and you are trading and your take profit is 1%, this is what is going to happen. When the robot takes a profit at 1%, it will multiply it by 10. Sente zirenga ziri in say, are we to the 10% of your money with so which is 1% of the money they gave you? Is it confusing? Let me explain it clearly. Let's assume my trading capital is $200. My robot has used 150 in a trade because the 50 was not injected because it was in margin calls. We said that we used 10x. We used 10x. So that this money is 1,500 instead. If my take profit was 1%, how much is 1% of $1,500? How much is it? Chorus answers are accepted. Someone please give me chorus answers. How much is 1% of $1,500?
$15.
$15. You are going to make $15 profits from it. But let's just be serious. If I was using only $200 and I made only 1%, how much would have been the profit? $2. That is the importance of having leverage. Okay? Your money is amplified. Your profits are amplified. Your take profit is amplified. And also your trading capital is amplified. That's the importance of leverage. That's why you are going to start seeing people with small money, but they're making good profits. If they are disciplined very well in future, don't overtrade, don't just trade, be very disciplined. If you make the money, but wait maybe for a signal. If you know how to do market analysis, wait for a trend, but just enter market. Don't be greedy. If you have made a profit from a coin, get out of it. Don't go back because it might change a trend. How to trade? How to trade? We are going to start having signals, and we are going to be teaching you how to put signals in a futures trading. Okay? How to trade and how to hedge is going to be our tomorrow's topic. Tomorrow is the Saturday. I want us to end with now I'm open for questions about what we have studied. Don't ask me about what we did study. Anyone with a question? Anyone with a question, drop it in the chat box if possible. Leader, kindly talk about the strategy mode we use. Strategy mode. Use one shot. Use one warehouse, by the way, in this kind of trading, but not yet tried the sub in real time. Not yet. I think my next trade, I'm going to trade sub in real time and see how it works in futures. But what I've used so far is one warehouse. Like you say, good capital zibasenge maker. Good capital mitwalo 10 mkama wangu. Uncle Rayokisebo, good capital is 100,000 USD plus. But the truth is, good capital is $1,000. If someone has $1,000 and you learn this concept, imagine you have $1,000 and multiply it by 10. And you decide maybe let me trade 2 coins. I use 500. I can have 500, you multiply it by 10. That means you enter trade with a budget of 5,000. How much money you can make from future? People will call you a witch. People in your village, they will think you bought a snake. People will think you bought a horse. What is the secret, my end? $1,000. But technically, you're only having 500. Just have a good strategy with a very good mindset. In futures, don't come with your greediness, please. You will lose. Okay, Patrick is asking, do I have to transfer my profits to my main account? I can leave it, remove your profits. Why are you leaving it there? What if you get liquidated? Hapa we want to capital but net profits. In our group, as a motivational speaker, you start posting memes. Eh? My advice is when you make a profit, swipe the account. The profits I've made, I come on futures and I sweep it. I leave there the 20% in the Najima. The problem with this kind of trading, it is liquidation. It's not like sports. It's not like sports. Don't do mistakes in this kind of trading. You must be very yes. There is a benefit, but there is a risk. Want to learn this kind of trading. Some people are going to stay in sports. Okay. Do we have more questions? Do we have more questions? I would love us to end this training. I want to give you an assurance, all of us leaders. Today Shaban is asking, do I activate AI margin call? Activate AI margin call when you have leverage. If you have a leverage, please don't. Do you know what? When you have a leverage, you have a liquidation level. Let me give you an example. If you're trading the X, your liquidation is just 10%. After trading, we come with a 10% against you. What I mean by going against you, that if you're going down the coin and it decides to go up instead, just 10% you are liquidated. But if your AI is ready to buy at 12%, that means by the time it thinks about buying, you're already out of business. Just have settings. But when you have no margin calls, you can have AI on. So when you have no leverage, you can leave AI on. Tomorrow we are going to look at how to trade, how to hedge, and how to avoid liquidation. Because these things you learn them when you are doing this. We have not tackled that today. So what I was saying is, I'm giving you my assurance. I'm going to, we and other leaders, we are very ready to give you these things, to teach them to you until you understand them. It's like we did with sport. How long have we been trading sport? For the past 3.5 years. Even futures, we have started. I'm seeing people here making money, being proud of this sport. Of course, others will be angry, they will lose money. I know that. But some people will be very happy. Okay. If we are disciplined, if we work as a team, if we share the ideas, if we get ready to study and learn, they are good. Do you have any question? I'm accepting 2 questions. We close our training. Rushing somewhere. Someone is asking, leader, I didn't understand hedging. We're going to look at it tomorrow. Hedging means trading a coin in both ways. I can enter a coin, short it and long it at the same time. That means by hedging. Now, for us who are using Royal Q, one trade will be making a profit, another trade will be buying margin calls. Now, when the other trade makes a profit, it comes back. Now, this one will start also making a profit. It's a very beautiful kind of strategy of trading. Very beautiful if you know market analysis, more importantly. But what Moses is asking, leader, in case you liquidated, what happens to the money exchange I borrow you with? That money is not real, by the way. The money Binance borrows you is not real money. It what can I say? It's a makeup. Just like a beautiful girl we find in the mall. All those girls we find on TikTok. What's your skin routine? Then the lady replied, a filter. She didn't know that these guys are using filters. So technically, the leverage is a filter, man. That's why when they're liquidating you, that money is not having any problem because it's not real. Okay, that's why when you are trading, must be to leverage. The screenshot I saw yesterday of a Pakistani, this guy had used only $5 in a trade, but you know what he did? He leveraged it by 75 times, and this trade went down 6,000 cents. It shorted the trade. All there was a profit. You imagine $5 times 75. Just only $5 is trading capital. He just borrowed $370. His only capital is 5. Now he entered the trade and it made 6,000. It dropped. Now this was also amplified. So you get the 6,000 percent, 6,000, I think, divided by 75. I don't know the mathematics there, but divided by 75. So let's assume the coin went down 80%. They take profit. Now imagine $375 times 80%. How much the profit he made? He made 300 profits. Kuna do research. Link a capital of $1. There's a lot of math there, but that's it. So that's the beauty of leverage. So let's not fear the leverage. Let's just learn how to use it. Spain is asking what could be the best trading pairs. By the way, the best trading pairs should be coins with a high market cap. BNB, Ethereum, ADA, those ones. If possible, avoid meme coins unless you have a hard, stony fact. The hard are that of youth from Kenya. Because meme coins out of the blue were liquidated. We don't want you crying for us in the group. Because those are the coins you can have one candle of 300%. Those coins with the higher market caps, they don't do those things. They move steadily. Okay. That's the profit go back or it remains in the future as well. It's like you see sport. How do you set leverage? We are going to look at that tomorrow. It's only real when you're okay, no, Patrick, thank you for the explanation. It's only real when you are online. He's saying, does leverage come automatically? You start to, no, my brother. No, not at all. You set it. We're going to look at that tomorrow. That's our tomorrow's training. Tomorrow's training is going to be at 12 p.m. On Saturday, we train at 8, at 12 p.m. during the day. And I don't know whether it will be very possible to have it tonight. Since it's the weekend, we're going to have it during the day. And sometimes we have that training. How many future training? Future trades can do a day when you can profit. It depends. It depends on your capital, your strategy. It depends on your capital, your strategy. Thank you so much for attending this class. More or less meet again. Tomorrow we are going to look at how do you put a trade, how do you leverage, how do you avoid the liquidation. Last time we looked at the cross and isolated. All of those things we're going to be looking at them. Thank you so much for attending. Give yourself a round of applause. We are going to enjoy this thing just like I've enjoyed it. I'm telling you, I've enjoyed it. And I'm scared, but I'm okay. I'm enjoying the futures. And if it stays like this for the next year, for me, I'm no longer scared about the money. Even if they kill Trump today, I'm okay. Okay, I'll stay rest in peace, but I will know just can't short the markets. You get what I'm saying? Even if anyone bombs anywhere in the ocean, I don't care. The market no longer scares. Thank you so much. Have a good